Hey, Choice here. Thank you again for joining me for another session of Choice Spirit. Let's see if I can get that out. I wanted to take a moment and speak about how media is used to create a scenario. How movies, social media, videos, all kinds of things are used to get into your psyche. So what happens is they tell you what they're going to do before they do what they're going to do, to prepare your psyche for it, to prepare your subconscious mind for it. Choice here. Thank you so very much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. I just want to take a moment to give you a little cheat code or help you to peek the game, as they used to say back in the day. Peek the game. A lot of what we see that people pay to put on is so that they can prepare us for what's coming. Now, our holy books has done it gives us stories. They're like self-fulfilling prophecies that play out. So because it's written, it plays out. So in these various movies and videos and different things like that, they put these things out so that it prepares us mentally for what is to come. So that when it comes, we accept it as truth more readily. A perfect example is the movie The Black Panther. And, they had Wakanda village and the way they set up the set and made this whole thing. And now they're setting up something like that in Africa, in Senegal, I believe. And they have a few other countries in mind to set up this city, Wakanda City, which is a whole nother story because, I'm having a feeling that I'll talk about that later. They had it all planned out. It is a big story. But it's a story for how still folks are trying to get their foot into the motherland. And they're doing it through us. So it's like a series of events. They put out the Wakanda, they put out the Black Panther, they have out this Wakanda village. Some people think it's the worst thing they could have done because it empowered melanated people. That was an issue for them. They felt that was a big mistake. Some people felt that was a big mistake. Other people feels it's an opportunity because they're investing in the motherland, something we're ready to say yes to because we saw the movie. Now people investing in Wakanda Village, the leaders and everyone allowing, and they got a nice, strong young man up front to lead it, a line of credit from various investors, and that is going to go into the building of this city. But that story's for another video. I won't go into that. But I went in to say this. So they prepare the mind by putting on these various movies. I think they had another one, I've not seen it, called another one, maybe called Outbreak and stuff. People walking around with masks, this, that, and the other, all kinds of stuff. There's one movie after another preparing the mind, the collective consciousness, if you will, preparing us for what they have in mind to do next. That's why the people invest in these things. It's an investment in you. It's an investment in us. So that we can play out, they can write the agenda and the narrative, and we can play into it just like clockwork because we were exposed to it. The movies and various images is just a catalyst towards what's to come. When we go to watch those movies, we basically, and we're getting all emotional and hyped, and whatever we're doing with our emotions in that movie, we're basically solidifying it as a self-fulfilling prophecy. And people are counting on this, so they invest in this. And the more people that goes out to see these various movies, is the more minds they have, the more energy, and the more energy they can harness to continue to push the agenda. See, they need you to believe it, but you need to be exposed to it somewhere. It's not like they can just start talking about this stuff and your mind will have an idea of what they're talking about. No. They give you a whole full out movies. They give you a few movies where you can see devastation and this, that, and the other, and everything play out on stage. Everything play out on the screen. We need to know how to use this for ourselves. Remember the vision videos, the 3D vision videos, the different vision boards, and we play our own movie. Just as they play movies to prepare us for the written narrative that they have to play out, the written narrative they're going to play out in their agendas, we need to set our own movie, write our own narrative, do our own thing, and stay on it, and stay focused, and get crazy excited about that. Because that's the same thing that they're doing. That's the game. You have to know how to see it. They play it out for you. So they're telling you what they have in mind for you. So that when it shows up, it's familiar to you. The mind then, remember the mind? The mind makes connections to try to make sense of whatever it's perceiving. That's perception. So they don't leave your perception a chance. They give you what you're going to perceive. They don't leave it to chance. They show it to you. And this way, your mind will make that connection, and then that's what begins to create your reality. You saw it play out, the full featured film, or in a series. In a series, they have these series on where you're watching I don't know how many pictures for how many hours. That's what you call indoctrination. That's what you talk about, planting the seed. And then they come back and sprinkle a little water on it. So you're watching the series, and you're watching everything unfold, and somehow this begins to create. Remember, this is how your reality is created. The mind needs something to harp on, the next and the next and the next. This is how we exist. This is how we have an experience. This is what life is. And we are creators. And so whatever we absorb, whatever we consume, whatever we accept as true, whatever we get emotional about, whatever we really believe about and feel about, is what we begin to create. It's not anything to be fearful about. What I'm talking about is like giving you the heads up so you can see it coming a mile away. You're like, yeah, I get it now. I see how they play this game. I got it. Guess what? I know what to do for this. I have the cheat codes. And the cheat codes are not really cheat codes because you were gifted with free will. You were gifted with the word, with the feelings and the emotions. People would say, it is what God says it is. But they conveniently leave out that God gave us dominion. Yes, the God in us. Yes, the God in us gave us the right to speak the word, gave us the ability to say it is what I say it is, because it was gifted to me to do that. In fact, it's put into the principles that govern us. It's how we create our world. So when I say it is what we say it is, it's according to our perception, because we are the perceiver. We're the ones that are making sense of the sensations that are coming through our bodies. Our minds have to make sense of the sensations that come through us. And our mind makes sense of the sensations that come through us. It looks for various connections that it can connect that frequency to, that energy. It tries to match the energy of whatever it is that's coming through us or into us. Remember, we're receivers and transmitters. So once we get that, our mind now searches its database, and it tries to come up, and it comes up with an answer to what it believed it came up with. Some movie we saw way back, some video we saw, something we heard. It will connect it to that because it's already stored within your database. When you went to see the movie, so your mind will connect to that it knows about, because it can only connect to something that's within it already. Otherwise, it has to be something that can be conceived. So that's why the movies plant the seed. And then when you see something else that comes, the mind is already there within your brain, so your brain forms connections with something that it can identify with. And it says, yes, this is it. So it becomes what you say it is, based on your perception. And when we give over our minds to other people to plant seeds, our perceptions become limited to what they've planted. But back on the other thing, people would think that you are taking God out of the equation by saying it is what I say or you say it is. They miss the fact that whatever the vibration is has to come through your filters. Everything is governed by principles and laws. And the energy that comes through you can only operate within the laws that you set for yourself, which are your filters. So it becomes what you say it is. So when we allow the movies and the different medias and different things to plant the seeds, and this is what we have to go on, and this is where our mind, this is the playground and where our mind will play. That's the scope. That's the narrow view, is what someone else wrote for us. So we have to now take back our power, write our own narrative, and say, all fine, well and good, but this is it. And let it come from that heart space. Because it truly is what you say it is, because it's only that one energy that is coming through you, expressing as you, speaking to you, through you, and with you, breathing through you, walking through you, using you. to have a human experience. You are divine. Divine. We have it twisted. We believe the body is first. It's the spirit. It's the spirit. It's the spirit. Of the Most High that flows through you. So, thank you so very much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste. Thank you. Peace. Oh, hey. Help me to grow the channel. Share it. Remember, only those that are ready to see and hear will see and hear. It's okay. But share it and like if you felt there's something that you liked, and subscribe or leave a comment. Thank you. Choice.